MLB on Fox proposed a trade the other day for the Red Sox, and it actually makes a ton of sense. So let's break that down. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Sea Radio. My name is Corbin, and last night, basically, the AL East, and honestly, the AL in general's worst fear actually came true. The loaded Baltimore Orioles team actually made a legitimate big league club move, trading for Corbin Burnes. Now, for the Red Sox, who seem totally content doing absolutely nothing, sitting on their hands, not taking risks, not worrying about long-term commitment, not worrying about the future of this club, that's a really dangerous thing to happen because that now sinks the Red Sox further into projections. But instead of sitting here complaining about it because I am so sick and tired of complaining, maybe this Corbin Burnes trade actually wakes the Red Sox up because they do still have time to do something. And one of those things they could do is trade for someone who'd make this team immediately better. And MLB on Fox had a pretty good one the other day that to me makes a ton of sense. So what we're going to do in today's video is we're going to break down this trade. We're going to talk about who the Red Sox would be getting, who the Red Sox would be giving up, why I think this makes so much sense, and what the likelihood of something like this actually happening is. But before we get into that, we are officially on the road to 10,000 subscribers. We are about 1,000 subscribers away from hitting that mark. If you haven't already, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button. We talk Red Sox content basically every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Really helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. The proposed trade we're talking about today from MLB on Fox has the Red Sox trading for Jesús Luzardo. Now, this isn't exactly a groundbreaking target considering this has been a name tossed around basically the entire offseason for the Red Sox, and it might not look like a realistic one right now. Miami said that, hey, we aren't really interested in trading Jesús, but at the same time, too, Milwaukee Brewers also said the exact same thing about Corbin Burnes, so I wouldn't take it fully off the table yet. In order to get Jesús Luzardo, the Red Sox would be sending over Ceddanne Rafaela, Tanner Houck, and 2 top 15 prospects. Now, this might seem like a haul, but before we break down what the actual cost of Luzardo would be, let's talk about why Luzardo would be such a good fit on the Boston Red Sox. For those of you who may not know, he is a left-handed starting pitcher for the Miami Marlins who really made a name for himself in 2023 with a 3.58 ERA and 32 starts over 178 innings. He also had a 3.55 FIP, so he's performing basically right up until his ERA, a 1.215 WHIP, and a 1.25 ERA plus, or about 25% more productive than the average pitcher in Major League Baseball. Last season, his fastball was also one of the best fastballs in the entire sport, sitting in the 95th percentile in fastball run value. He was also well above average in chase rate in the 76th percentile, basically meaning that only 24% of Major League Baseball got more chases on pitches outside of the zone. His whiff rate was in the 86th percentile. He was missing a lot of bats. He also had an above average strikeout rate in the 82nd percentile, and his walk rate wasn't half bad either in the 65th percentile in Major League Baseball. He did have some issues last season with his off-speed pitches. His changeup was getting hit at a 4.29 slug, and it hasn't always been easy for him in his young career. Overall, in parts of 5 seasons, he has a 4.18 ERA with a 3.93 FIP, a little bit better than his ERA leads on, and a 1.03 ERA plus, slightly above league average. But he's only going into his age 26 season, meaning Luzardo has a ton of potential left to be a legitimate frontline starting pitcher for years to come, and what we saw was the beginning of that in the 2023 season. The reasons for this fit are extremely obvious. The Red Sox are looking for a frontline starter, but more importantly to the Red Sox right now, they're looking for young, controllable talent that melds with their predicted true potential window. Luzardo is under control until the 2027 season, giving them 3 full years of control, but it also makes them a better contender this season, while not spending money that they probably should spend. I mean, the dude had a 4.1 WAR last year. He would have easily been the Red Sox best pitcher in the 2023 season and would easily be the Red Sox best pitcher in 2024. Now, he does have some injury history. He has a left-handed injury that happened back in 21 and a forearm injury in 22 that some feared would lead to Tommy John surgery, but it didn't again. Last year, he was an extremely reliable pitcher in the Miami Marlins rotation, throwing full 32 games and almost 200 plus innings. This is a guy who had some concerns about his health in the past, but proved last year he could be a reliable left-handed frontline starting pitching option for a team. To me, this target obviously makes a ton of sense. He not only fits in with what the Red Sox need immediately, he also fits in with what the Red Sox are looking for long term. He fits in with the stupid little budget the Red Sox have set for themselves that are limiting their ability to acquire these guys via free agency, and he's a left-handed starter that the Red Sox need desperately. But the question is the cost worth what you are getting in Luzardo? In terms of this proposal specifically, MLB on Fox proposed that the Red Sox send over, again, say Don Rafaela, Tanner Houck, and 2 unspecified top 15 prospects. Now, these could be basically anyone, but in order to try and even out the deal, they're probably going to have to be more enticing top 15 options than some of the other ones listed on Sox prospects, so I threw in Nick York and Wilkerman Gonzalez. Now, this seems like a lot to give up for the Boston Red Sox, but when you look at a couple of different factors, it may be worth the haul. First off, the Red Sox don't want to spend the money in free agency to acquire a starting pitcher, but maybe being able to barter for it makes this trade a bit more enticing. The other thing is that if you are going to give up a giant haul for anyone, this feels like the package to do it. When you take a look at the individuals in this package, starting with, say, Don Rafaela, he is a top 100 prospect. He has some pedigree. He has a pretty high ceiling, but he's not quite major league ready. He does need some work down in AAA, according to basically what the Red Sox have done this offseason. He's also a bit blocked right now. You've got Jaron Duran in center field. You've got Willie Abreu in right field, most likely, who the Red Sox seem very, very high on. Masataka Yoshida's in left field. And on top of that, you've got Roman Anthony, who is your number 1 prospect right now, firing his way up the minor league system. Say, Don, in my opinion, when we're looking at top prospects to trade away, of the top 4 prospects in your system, he makes the most sense based on both ceiling as well as fit with this club. Then you look at Tanner Houck, who in my opinion is one of the more underrated pitchers on the Boston Red Sox. I think with a little bit of adjusting, he can be a really solid starter, but Jesús Luzardo is definitely a much better fit with the Boston Red Sox right now. And as much as I love Tanner Houck, you do have a couple other players on this team right now that fall into a similar category. Cutter Crawford, Garrett Whitlock, some might say Nick Pivetta, some may even say Josh Winkowski. You've got a maximum of 4 other players who are in a similar boat to Tanner Houck. He's not exactly an untouchable player. Nick York is sort of in a similar boat as, say, Don Rafaela. He's not a top 100 prospect, but there is a ton of potential there, and he's also blocked a little bit in his path to Major League Baseball with the Boston Red Sox. You just acquired Vaughn Grissom. You've got Trevor Story under contract, and like, say, Don Rafaela, he also has a counterpart who is a number 2 prospect in the Red Sox system right now in Marcelo Meyer. It's going to be really difficult for the Red Sox to find everyday at-bats for Nick York, and unless they want to move Grissom in order to make room for Nick York, he's probably pretty blocked, which makes him a pretty easy trade candidate. Wilkerman Gonzalez is a high-caliber starting pitcher who could be really important to the Red Sox pitching pipeline, but he's also a bit of a lottery pick. He's a guy who has a high ceiling but a low floor. Again, might be someone whose value comes in acquiring someone who's less of a lottery pick and more of a sure thing in Jesús Luzardo. So when you're breaking down this trade package for the Red Sox, yes, it seems like a lot, but you're going to have to spend a lot to get something really quality. And of all the players that are high quality that you could send away, I think this might be the best package because it fits both the Red Sox needs in terms of what they're acquiring and allows them to free up some space in some areas that might be a bit logjam for either higher caliber prospects or players already on the team. The big question here is realistically, is either side going to say yes to this? Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. If you look at things from a Miami Marlins perspective, they already aren't super high on trading Jesús Luzardo. So unless they get a package that perfectly meets their needs, like the Orioles were able to do with Corbin Burnes, they're probably just going to hold on to him. Does this package entice them enough to move on from Jesús Luzardo? I think it at least gets them thinking, right? You've got obviously the pedigree of getting 3 of the Red Sox top 10 prospects plus Tanner Houck, who's already major league ready. Say Don John Rafaela and Nick York are very, very close to Major League ready, and Wilkerman Gonzalez really isn't that far behind them. You could have some immediate impact with trading Jesús Luzardo, but the question is this a quantity over quality type thing? Miami Marlins asked for Tristan Casas in exchange for Edward Cabrera before the 2023 season began. They're probably looking for something similar or even more for Jesús Luzardo. Does this deal get it done? I'm not entirely sure. In honesty, I'm probably leaning towards no from the Miami Marlins point of view. From the Red Sox point of view, if I'm the Red Sox, I'm jumping at this opportunity. It allows you to acquire the exact thing you are looking for. It allows you to not spend the type of money you would normally spend acquiring one of these guys on free agency, and you're also not giving up any of your legitimate top 3 prospects that you've been trying to avoid giving up for the entire offseason. It also allows you to keep your young core intact together at the major league level. But based on everything we've seen from the Red Sox this offseason, I honestly don't know if they even say yes to this. It feels like they are very against trading basically any of their even slightly significant prospects. It looks like they're trying to hoard as many prospects as humanly possible to try and hit that target date of 2026. But again, it just makes so much sense for Boston. You are acquiring Jesús Luzardo in terms of getting a legit ace caliber starting pitcher, a left-handed starting pitcher that you need pretty desperately. It's not going to cost you a lot of money. And again, you're not giving away any of your legit core pieces on the actual team right now. And you're not giving away any of your top 3 prospects that you're essentially banking your entire future on. To me, if I'm the Boston Red Sox, again, I am absolutely jumping at this opportunity. But as we know this offseason, the Red Sox don't exactly jump into opportunities. They have been extremely stagnant. They have been extremely okay with not caring about what this 2024 team looks like. And Jesús Luzardo, to me, changes that in an absolute instant, because it not only makes your window of opportunity in 2026 a little bit better, it also makes your 2024 team a bit more competitive, which I think that's all we as fans want. It's just a simple competitive team. The trade with Corbin Burnes really threw me off last night. I think it indicates just how far behind the Red Sox are with every team in the AL East right now, and it really, really concerns me. This is the way you can answer that. The question is whether or not the Red Sox will actually do that. But this is just my opinion. Let me know what your thoughts are on this trade in the comment section down below. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you think it's too much? Do you think it's too little? And what are your thoughts on acquiring Jesús Luzardo? Let me know all your thoughts on the proposed trade in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, don't forget we are on the road to 10,000 subscribers. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, make sure you guys do that. We talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seats.